everything is back again. You know where we are, so let's get into it. So guys, just touching base with you respect to some of these videos right about now, and this is one of the recent things I did a review on. So I did post in the community chat on my phone not too recently about your thoughts on vibrant leather oud. So as you can see, I've got the bottle here. I've done videos on it before, so I'm not going to do necessarily one like that, but you can see it on the screen now. I'm just going to share your screen with you directly. I'm just going to have a quick look on what came up on my phone for the community page in respect of the poll that I put up. So most recently, guys, you put up a poll most recently, and it was saying about I said to you, what was the most important fragrance? Is it a fragrance that's more of a all occasion fragrance or a specific occasion fragrance? And that came to, funny enough, that came to literally 50% each, 52 votes now. And again, I know the channel's not big, but I think that's a good indication. So to some extent, maybe people aren't as concerned about what's a good fragrance, what's a bad fragrance, what's a not necessarily good or bad, but what's really used when it comes to particular circumstances. So I'm going to reveal notes of bergamot, incense, and oud. Warm, elegant, long-lasting fragrance. Fragratica, for those that know. Let's have a look at this. Fragratica, for those that know. Just so you can see it now. Ultimately, we've got on there, everyone seems to like it. Everyone seems to take the view that it's a very good fragrance. A lot of people seem to like it. And again, top notes are bergamot, mid notes are going to be incense, and it's saying it's got some, I believe it's some woody notes in the base, cedar probably in the base, or agarwood in the base, with some amber. So maybe a slight deviation from what's on Zara's website, which isn't a bad thing. Many particular how could I say, many particular fragrances on Zara's website don't particularly have all the notes noted on there. So to some extent, you've got to use your own judgment. But ultimately, just looking even down, a lot of people are saying that their longevity is relatively poor, weak, moderate, and a lot of people are saying it's more moderate. This is a fragrance. I'm just going to spray it now. I'm going to spray it so you can see. There we go. Let's up on the camera so you can see it. Let's spray this now. I've actually spoken to some ladies regarding this fragrance, and some ladies have said they really like it. Some ladies say they really enjoy it. For me, though, I don't really get the thing for me, unfortunately, about this fragrance is that it's lacking so much of what it could be. The potency is just not there. It smells to me like something that Zara's actually previously released in a different bottle, but it's just been named Vibrant Leather Oud. Now, I think the bottle itself is a very interesting bottle. It has so much potential. I do get a bergamot note in there. I don't particularly get a oud wood, in my opinion. I get the bergamot in there in the tops, and then it starts to give you this sort of incense sort of smell, and maybe a bit of an amber note as well. So that's where you're getting this sort of like warm sort of smell coming from. But ultimately, guys, I just don't particularly think it's a good fragrance. Longevity wise, for me, it doesn't seem to give me longer than probably about maybe 3 hours or so. It does become a skin scent, in my opinion, relatively quickly compared to what I've expected from Vibrant Leather. So I don't think necessarily two can be compared like for like. This is a different type of fragrance in my opinion. The only unifying note I would say that remains in this is the bergamot, and then once that starts to go away, you're just left with this sort of, how can I say, this sort of amber sort of note. If you really get into the note breakdown, don't get me wrong, I don't think it's necessarily a bad fragrance, but I feel like there's better, and I feel like Zara, don't get me wrong, when it comes to oud, I can't really smell oud in this, in my opinion. So even on the note breakdown from Fragratica, there's no mention of oud. Maybe there's probably talking about more to do with the incense mixed with maybe the woodsy notes, but to me there's not really a oud in there. So I think it just leaves little to be, how could I say, a lot to be desired, in my opinion. And the real reason why I just don't like this fragrance, because it's no different from, say, for instance, this one here, so Vibrant Wood, for example. It wants to be something else. It's nearly getting there, but it just lacks projection. It lacks any real force. I know it's only $19.99, but in my opinion, just a lackluster fragrance. But it is what it is, guys. Obviously, it's $19.99. It's not breaking the bank. They're obviously making their money because people buy this fragrance and they enjoy it when they go and buy their clothes, and obviously enjoy that. So for me, it is a clone of Creed, or inspired version of Creed's Aventus, what they've tried to do from Zara's perspective at a cheaper price. So you do get what you pay for. I think if somebody else did this fragrance, probably from a more of a designer house, so just imagine Armani did the fragrance, or maybe you have like Gucci did the fragrance, I still don't think it would be accepted. I don't think it's strong enough. If it was a little bit more fuerte, if it was a little bit more strength to it, it would give it so much more. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to do that. For some reason, it's just sort of, it leaves me wanting more. but it doesn't give me enough. If I were to compare that to, say, for instance, something like this, which is a completely different beast, something like this, which you can see Dolce & Gabbana the one, something completely different, I know where I am with that. Quality of ingredients is a different beast, but it's a different type of expression of fragrance, so you can't necessarily expect the two. Now again, this one you're paying at what, nearly 50-60 pounds in the UK, and then obviously this one for 120 mils, 20 pounds. So I'm not gonna go crazy, but equally, guys, the biggest reason why I hate this fragrance is more to do with the potential that is there, and it's just not being actualized. It's just not being pushed through. It doesn't, for me, again, it's not a long-lasting fragrance for me. I get a few hours out of it. It's got a sort of spicy note in the base, a little bit maybe coming from, as I say, sort of woodsy notes with the amber, but it just leaves me wanting to say, well, if it had a bit more energy to it, it would do so much more. Vibrant Leather, when it came out initially, it was a burst, it was citric, it was bergamot, it was a lot in my face. I was like, wow, what's going on with this? But then at the same time, it had the lasting power. 4 or 5 hours I was able to get from that one easy without pushing it. This one, after 3 hours, it's dissipating. 2 hours, it's dissipating. 3 hours, it's probably gone. It's an okay fragrance. The bottle looks good. I think if this was in any other bottle, I just don't think it would be necessarily get the level of praise that it gets, but it's just because of the bottle, and I think the legacy of Vibrant Leather, people look at this and think, wow, this is a good one to go for, and I think that's the mistake. It just leaves me wanting more, and I honestly do feel that I think Zara released this previously under a different name, and now it's called Vibrant Leather Wood, because obviously it's in this bottle, but I think there's been previous versions of this particular fragrance and it's not necessarily called that. So leave that with me. I'll probably do my research on that to try and find out what that is. But for the time being, guys, the biggest reason why I do not like this fragrance is because, again, it doesn't have anything about it that really makes me want to keep wearing it. It's not, the hype is from the name only, and it's in name alone. This isn't anything to do with Vibrant Leather, except for the bergamot note. I think, again, which is in sort of the mids. It says on the top notes, but you seem to get in the mids, and then obviously it just goes from there. It's just like it was just like the King's new clothes, and that is it. Nothing more to say on this one. I don't like the fragrance. It's okay. I'll wear it sometimes. I'm gonna get some ladies' opinions on it to see what they think. But in all honesty, guys, yeah. But you let me know down, guys, below. Do you like this fragrance? Is it something that you've worn? Again, I don't think it's a bad purchase, but again, I'm talking from having the knowledge of a lot of these fragrances from Zara's house now, and this is just one in my opinion, which is, again, the hype is there just in the name alone. But fortunately, King's New Clothes is just an old fragrance, in my opinion, that's just been put in a new bottle. The juice has just been given a bit of a taint, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing. That's something they've already released, and it just leaves me wanting more, and cannot understand why they're just not putting through the quality of fragrances that was done previously, to the point now they just don't last as long. I don't understand what that's about. I'm struggling. It's a skin scent. I'm struggling. Yeah. Can't even breathe. Can't even talk. That's how disappointed I am. I can't even talk anymore. Please do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe, guys, to save you some money and some time. You do know the spiel. Do not forget to give the channel a subscribe, and also give the video a thumbs up. Ciao.